so that's all I needed.
They would just fucking...
Call came from inside the house.
sound an alarm.
I can do this, so I will.
Fuck you, Planet Fitness.
In the name of Christianity? What is up, everyone? I hope you had a good New Year's. I hope you had a good New Year's celebration by watching the ball drop and the lack of people there were there.
Shout out to the Planet Fitness guys, though. Like the little wacky wavy guys.
Oh, yeah?
Like, that replaced the human beings at the night.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was kind of goofy. I like that. I think Planet Fitness, like, they don't spend $1 in advertising for 364 days, and then on New Year's Eve, they're like, you fat fuckers ready to get back in the gym? Let's
honestly,
go!
That's honestly pretty smart, if you think about it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah. Otherwise, I mean,
Yeah.
I doubt, aside from, like, I don't think, the only thing, like, that they have ever advertised that made me go, you know what, I'd go to Planet Fitness over any other gym is, like, they have, like, the lunk alarm, you know? Have you ever been to a Planet Fitness?
I'm not.
So, like, they have this, it's called a lunk alarm or something like that, and basically, if you, like, let's say, if you've ever, we went to high school together, so I know you've went to weights with, like, people who take it way too seriously.
Oh, yeah, the try-hard weightlifters.
Yeah. They're banging the plates on the ground. They're grunting so fucking loud.
Oh, hell yeah. They have control. Yeah, they have control of, like, because at our school, no one had earphones. They just had control over the fucking aux in the room. So they're playing some dumb shit. Let's name them all individually by name and state where they live now.
I know. Yeah, I was gonna say, I could probably figure out their addresses. But, like, but they would just fucking, you know what I mean? They would do that kind of shit and just, like, disrupt the entire place, and then you don't want to work out because, like, they're insane, and I'm on the treadmill, bro. Like, I'm chilling. But, like, if you go to Planet Fitness and do that shit, they will literally, like, sound an alarm and tell you to piss off, basically.
Really?
Yeah, you have to sign a contract that says you won't do that, basically. Ooh. It's so awesome.
That's good.
Like, if I lived near Planet Fitness, I would go to Planet Fitness. Because I did, and it was awesome.
They didn't even pay us. And look at this quick advertisement by someone that doesn't endorse us.
Not a sponsor. Fuck you, Planet Fitness. Fuck you guys.
Fuck you guys until you give us money. No, I've never been, but I've only heard good things. So if you're thinking about getting fit for this New Year's resolution, fucking hit up Planet Fitness. It's like $10 for your first month is what I've heard. I don't know.
Or you could Venmo me $40 a month. I will create a workout plan. All you need is a concrete floor and one 10-pound dumbbell.
That's pretty impressive. $40, you heard it here first. That $40 might even turn into the money you get back from our previous deal that we made with the audience.
Yeah, as we're recording this, the episode's been out for like a day, so we don't know if you guys have earned your penny or not. So congratulations on earning your penny, or
you guys need to step up.
Do your job right, yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, no. If you have listened, great. If you've continued to listen, awesome. I will say, like, we had a pretty good spike in the last week, leading up to the release of the newest one. So that's really nice. We appreciate all that.
Hell yeah.
When this one goes up, if you're listening to this now, there will be a blog for you to read as well.
Ooh.
So we'll throw the link in the description of the podcast, and go check that out too. We'd greatly appreciate that also.
Yeah, dude, we follow through.
Hopefully it's funny. I don't know I haven't written it yet, so I don't know if it's going to be funny, but hopefully it's kind of funny.
At least if not funny, it'll grasp your attention like a baby grabs his mom's finger.
Yeah, which is with a gorilla grip.
Have you ever felt a baby fucking grip a finger? Holy shit.
They don't fuck around. They don't fuck around. That's theirs.
That is theirs. But yeah, so if you remember the last episode, we mentioned our next topic for the new month of January, which is urban legends. Okay, and so to define urban legends, I don't have a proper definition, but the way I define an urban legend would be a story that's been passed on through generation to generation, people to people, something like you would compare it to, like, I've heard it in a campfire story, about something that can be creepy. It can be just an interesting story where it's like, and then the phone call came from inside the house kind of fucking vibe. And so that's what I kind of consider an urban legend. And that being said, I will now look up what urban legend definition is.
What the real definition is. What if it's that verbatim, though? That'd be really cool.
I'd be like, holy, here's the definition by Google. A humorous or horrific story or piece of information circulated as though true, especially one purporting to involve someone vaguely related or known to the teller. That was pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's not bad. Yeah.
You know,
same thing.
We'll take it. And there's also a movie named Urban Legend, not to get confused with that, so.
Yeah.
Starring, I don't know, I'll find that out soon.
I will say, I was looking up an article, like, I was like, trying to read up on some, because I was like, maybe I could find someone that's, like, under the cuff a little bit, you know, like, find something that's nice and, like, real, like, something that was something new. I ended up not going with something new, but I was like, it's interesting, and I do want to talk about it. But there was one that was like just a urban legend in each state, and in Chicago it was Homie the Clown.
Homie?
Yeah.
Like what a homie?
Did you ever watch In Living Color? Well, it's basically SNL, but it was like the Wayans family. And Damon Wayans did a character called Homie the Clown, where he was like a birthday clown, but he was like from the streets, and I was like.
That's on brand.
Is it like... It's kind of fucked up, man, for you guys to put Homie the Clown in the Urban Legends department, bro?
Yeah, that's not an urban legend. That's a fictional story.
Yeah, well, there was like according to it, there was like a guy who dressed up like Homie the Clown from In Living Color and like went around in a van and like I was like, this isn't even an urban legend. This is just a guy trying to kidnap children.
Yeah, that's just fucked up crime. The point, in my opinion, an urban legend, you have to be the one to determine if it's real or fake. You know what I mean? Like, if you can back that shit up with fact, then it's not an urban legend. It's a fucking sociopath robbing, kidnapping people.
Yeah.
You know? And it can't be completely fictional. Like, I mean, it can't be like just a random piece of fiction, because then that's like an obviously fake thing, so it can be an urban legend there too.
Yeah.
There has to be a hint of truth and a hint of not fake news, if you will. Shit. Oh shit. Maybe I shouldn't do that right
now. As we record this, I think they're out now. But as we were like leading up to this, I'm sure you've seen it by now. But some people,
the results are in.
A bunch of terrible people broke into the Capitol building today and tried to overthrow the government. So that's sick. But
in a peaceful protest. So.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not political though. We're not political. We won't bore you with those details, and I'm sure you know more than us by now because you are in the future, and we are simply humble recordings in the past.
Yeah, he might not even be the president when this comes out.
Honestly, who knows? We'll have to see what happens. Let us know, future people. But I'm sure we'll cover it eventually, but we won't dive in there. But yes, that is a very unfortunate and scary thing that has happened in today's history. So be safe out there.
And in there.
And in there, yeah, especially actually in there. But yeah, so now that you know, you're caught up with current events, you know what our topic is, I am particularly excited to discuss my topic today. Craig, are you?
Dude, I'm so fucking hyped right now.
Craig's fucking nipples right now are rock solid.
Dude.
We're not in the same room, but I can feel it.
I'm ready to fucking go, bro.
you can cut some glass with that shit.
I'm a 19-year-old with a White Claw in my hand, bro.
Oh, shit. Oh, no way, dude. That's fucking no flaws with the claws, am I right, brother? Oh,
am
my
I right?
goodness.
Children that listen, like, am I right, college-age people who listen to the podcast?
Well, let's insert a clip here. It's like, Stores with the Boys does not condone drinking underage. Any violators of this law shall be persecuted.
Yeah,
like
I drank underage, though.
Excuse me?
Like a lot, actually. Almost exclusively underage, honestly. I don't drink much as a 21-plus-year-old.
Wait a minute. Are you admitting to a literal crime right now on the podcast?
Several crimes.
Sweet. Fuck it, dude. What's up, law enforcement?
So the FBI, they literally just come through my roof. I'm like, oh, shit.
It's like Christmas was last week. Anyway, all right, so, I think last week, I don't know how we did it. We didn't really have like a who goes first kind of thing. It was just kind of like throwing movies back and forth, you know. If you didn't see it, go check it out. It was an amazing podcast. But this week, I would like to go second. I think I would like to elect to go second. I want to hear what you got.
I'm good with that. I think you thrive in this situation. You thrive.
I think you're
with the
right.
pressure. So
the pressure's on me. I like that.
I wanted something a little under the cuff. I didn't go that route.
Hell yeah.
And this one, this wasn't something that was on like my list though. This one popped up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you know what? No one talks about this thing anymore, even though it's super interesting in my opinion." But it's the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, dude, I fuck with the Bermuda Triangle heavy. I actually have some of my own research in my own brain that I might be able to spit at you later on.
Please do, because I want this to be very open discussion.
Oh hell yeah, open discussion. When I was a kid, my teacher, who was also my principal, small school, Kansas, he would, for our, I don't know what you call them, but they were like down days where it's like, you don't have to learn, just here's a celebration. He would throw in this video every single time, and it was a video on the Bermuda Triangle and UFOs and shit, and he would give us a cup, like a small Dixie cup of grape soda, and he'd be like, this is your party day. I fucking thrived on that day. I loved that day so much. Even if and it was the same video every time, but I was like, what if I learned something I didn't know the first time? The Bermuda Triangle interested me ever since.
Dude, it's so fun. There was a really good, I was a huge Scooby-Doo guy, and there was a really good like Scooby-Doo movie that was about the Bermuda Triangle. But and I was like, that's when I was like, oh, word, bro? This shit looks crazy.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, no, I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the Bermuda Triangle, which it says also known as the Devil's Triangle, I've never met a single soul in the world who calls it the Devil's Triangle. Call it the Bermuda Triangle or pause the podcast. No, don't pause it. Turn the volume down.
Mute it, then continue to play.
Let it play, and then run it back when you're done.
Yeah, go ahead and set it on repeat the whole day. 24 hours would be awesome.
Yeah, put your phone on the charger. So... If you don't know what that is, it's a span of sea that covers 440,000 miles between like Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, and it perfectly makes like a triangle, like point to point. So basically, what happens is like it's just like this little area, and when people like travel by sea or by plane for that matter, a lot of the time, you don't hear from those people ever again.
They are gone in the triangle.
They just disappear completely.
Poof.
Yeah, gone. A lot of people believe that, like, that's what happened to Amelia Earhart. I think.
Rest in peace.
I think in the last few years, people have kind of decided that she was eaten by giant crabs on a deserted island, so that's really exciting.
That's probably true. Hey, Kansas! Shout out Kansas resident. What's up?
Oh yeah, hey, we got something.
We got something. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a huge span of sea. I have never been there. I don't plan on going there. So whether this place is like mystical or not, you will not catch me there.
You will not be surfing the triangle.
That's how serious this thing is. Because like,
wait, you won't go there. You won't go there because it's the Bermuda Triangle, or you won't go there because it's just completely out of your way, or both.
Well, if I were traveling and they were like, yeah, we're just going to go right over the Bermuda Triangle. No, we're not going.
Okay. So you're pulling the Pope over the fucking, what is it, the Stoll Cemetery situation.
Yeah, except he was a little pussy about it, dude.
Call back.
But, like, I think the first recording of the Bermuda Triangle was by Christopher Columbus, because he, like, traveled through the Bermuda Triangle, and that's how he like ended up in North America, which is, you know, he made it obviously, so that's good for him. But like in his like journals, he recalls seeing a huge ball of fire fall from the sky and land in the sea.
Ball lightning.
Which we can assume a meteor, but I guess it could have been lightning as well. Because like the way he describes it, it's like fire. But he also didn't know what the fuck lightning was, because he thought some science doesn't exist. But
yeah,
so that's like the first time we hear of it. So like right out the gate, dude, like it's got some like mysterious vibes going on. Like obviously in 2021, we're aware that like that's probably just a meteor or like a lightning strike or anything else. It wasn't like a fucking God sent orb or anything like that.
Or UFO. Well, that's funny because the aforementioned video that I said earlier, there was a reenactment of that exact scene where it was like these people dressed in like Christopher Columbus shit, like on this fake ship, and then they had like this awful CGI of a ball falling in the sky. It was awesome.
It was just like a diorama, and they like did it in a bathtub.
Yeah, basically. It's like, this is gold. This is pure gold. I personally think it's a UFO, but yeah.
I would love that. I think that'd be tremendous.
Because the whole thing, I mean, I'm sure you're going to touch on this later, but like, the whole thing about the Bermuda Triangle is that it's like directly linked with aliens, and that's why people vanish and shit.
Yeah, people like I think it's definitely like in my brain. I'm like it's always and like let's just be real, right? So we'll hear all these stories, and we can assume it's just it's off the coast of Florida, which has hurricanes yearly. We can assume that it's bad weather and people's people flying or setting sail during a time where they shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
So that's the logical explanation. But like the Scooby-Doo movie, bro, they were like, it's ghost pirates.
Oh, straight up ghost pirates?
Yeah, they were like, it's ghost pirates from the motherfuckers who drowned before. And I'm like, holy shit, like this is crazy. Ghost pirates? But I think I like the alien. I like the alien stuff more. But it kind of showed, like, it got a little bit of attention, like, starting in the 20th century. A Navy cargo ship called the USS Cyclops, which had more than 300 people on board, went missing. Which is like,
okay,
what's up, dude? 300 people? Not
you know how many
soul?
300 people? That's a lot of people in retrospect.
Yeah, like, that's crazy. That's a lot of people, and that's in our military too. Cause we didn't have as many people in the military as we do now, motherfucker. Like we didn't.
Back then, 300 was the whole fucking. That was the whole division of one branch.
Yeah, Florida was fucked for a minute there. If something would have happened. And then like the latest incident that's like been reported was a 2-engine plane, of disappearing this year, or in 2020. It had 4 people on board, and it disappeared off the radar when it was flying from Puerto Rico to Florida. And the debris appeared to be from the missing plane, or there was debris that they had found from the plane later. So once again, person with a little bitty plane trying to go a far distance and probably shouldn't have been flying, but whatever. But like, there's so many like instances of like just shit going wrong, and so people believe it's like a mystical thing, and like they get sucked down by the sea, or the aliens will like if you're traveling through there, aliens will just pick you up and say, "All right, dude, let's go." Yeah,
it's like open season, human edition to the aliens at the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, and so it's like. The USS Cyclops is like such a big one. It was like it had 309 crew members exactly with the USS Cyclops. It was March. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'll just say it. No, you go ahead. Mine's a little later.
Okay, I was gonna say it's March 1918. Huge fucking boat. Huge boat. It was going from Brazil to Baltimore, carrying 10,800 tons of manganese. Which is like, oof, that's a lot of shit, bro.
This is heavy.
When they set sail, it was nice out. It was a good day. No indications of trouble. They were never heard from again.
Oh, just gone. That's just so fucking crazy. Gone. Yeah.
Like, and obviously, it probably took a while for them to be like, hey, is USS Cyclops ever going to show the fuck up, or what's going on? But they obviously went search party the whole way around. Like, they went all the way, because they were headed to Baltimore, so they were like, from Baltimore down. Like, let's go check it out. Never found a soul. And the captain of the boat never sent a single, like, distress call.
Like an SOS or anything?
Yeah. And no one aboard responded to a single, like, radio call. Nobody. So zero communication after they left.
And I know, like, the whole thing is, like, people are always like, well, they got lost at sea and they sunk. Is there any sort of argument against that?
I think the only, like, I mean, they've done, like, you know, in time since, because, I mean, people like James Cameron like to go and do this shit, right? Mm-hmm. They'll go down to find these boats, and, like...
Yeah, okay. So they'll go explore.
So, yeah, so they haven't found it, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm assuming it was a large vessel.
Exactly, yeah, it was fucking a naval ship, for fuck's sake. There was the Carroll A. Deering, a 5-masted commercial schooner. It's one of the most popular things that, like, it's written about. January of 1921. So, bad call, guys. It was kind of cold. But, so this was, 5 people on this boat.
Yeah, they're all spooning on the schooner.
It was found, hit hard ground on, like, the rocks of, like, in Diamond Shoals, North Carolina. Some people think it was, like was actually pirated, which is weird. Okay. Like, on the...
Looted.
Like, yeah. It doesn't say... I'm sure if I looked up an article, I could figure out where it was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit, where'd I go?
This is dead air? I got you.
Dead air.
What up? Oh.
Whenever, like... So, it was coming from Barbados. So, whenever they reached out and were like, hey, it's kind of rough out there, guys. What's going on? No crews. Like, it looks like it was deserted. Because when they found the boat, not a single personal item, not a trace of any of the people.
Oh, really? It's like none of their, like, bags of clothes or anything like that? It was just like every ounce of their person was out of the picture.
Yeah, not even a person, like, left a sock. You know how, like, sometimes you go to a hotel and you lose one sock? You
leave a sock or some stupid shit. Yeah, or a headband or some dirty condoms.
Yeah, some dirty... Oh, no. Not the dirty condoms.
Don't do that to your fucking hotel staff. Obviously, I'm goofing.
Yeah, yeah.
Craig, we gotta go pick up our condoms.
Yeah, all right, go to condoms. So, there was a boat called the Witchcraft.
Well, they're asking for fucking trouble if your boat is named the Witchcraft.
Yeah,
and you're traveling on the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, and this isn't like 1800s where they're like, we don't know anything about the Bermuda Triangle. No, it's 1967. Literally.
This is after A, the witch trials, B, the fucking Bermuda Triangle has been well established. And they're asking for some trouble, bro.
Yeah. It was 2 people.
Okay.
On a 23-foot luxury yacht. Oh. And they were like...
let's call it the Witchcraft, Chad.
Yeah. They were going to go and explore and go see some beautiful Christmas lights because they left on December 22nd. So they were like, let's go see Christmas. This is going to be so sick.
That's pretty key.
They got 1 mile offshore.
Okay.
And the Coast Guard received a call from the captain stating that his ship had hit something.
Okay.
But there was no substantial damage.
Okay, so they at least called it in. They were like, hey, our ship has struck something.
Yeah. And they were like, we're only a mile away, like...
No problem. Right.
Yeah, come tow us.
Okay.
And bring us back. And, this is so fucking crazy. They set off, like, within, like, 19 minutes of that call. Like, they, you gotta get the boat ready, you gotta get everything ready to go, you gotta get the people out there.
Oh, yeah.
It's close to Christmas. Like, I mean, they probably on call or whatever.
The whole thing.
So 20 minutes. They get out there. Nobody. They're gone.
Oh, fuck it. Like, the yacht was still there, but nobody was at all around? Or, like, the yacht was gone?
It's gone. The yacht's gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking absolutely insane. So, and it's a huge yacht. There's no way it could have, like, sunk, like, off of something just kind of tapping it with no substantial damage.
Yeah.
And, like, they obviously just wanted to, like, get back to shore because they were like, we're not too far. We can at least look at it.
A quick tow.
And that thing had, like, several, like, just out the blue, like, obvious life preservers, life floats, flares, distress devices, like, all of them.
It's got,
None of them were used. None of them were found. And the ship was completely fucking gone.
So there was, like, literally no signs of, like, a struggle, no signs of like an attempt for survival. Like if the ship was sinking, then they would obviously be shooting off some flares, you know, doing some shit for survival purposes. There was none of that.
Yeah, no, there was literally, they called for help just to, like, you know, casually make sure everything was cool.
Yeah.
And then they disappeared into fucking God knows where.
Bro, tell you what, fuck that. I ain't going anywhere near the Florida.
That's what I'm saying, part. Bro. Like, why would you, like, you know, I've flown over Kansas. I'm not worried about flying over Kansas, bro. I'll fly over Hell's Gate. I've done that
one. Okay.
Like,
you have that good. Over the Pope. You have that over the Pope.
Yeah. But you will not catch me. We're going to go around the Bermuda Triangle, guy.
I don't care how long that adds to the flight experience.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go tell the pilot myself. I'll say, just do like a little wing tilt, bro, for like a mile. Oh, yeah. We're good.
Just do a little wing. Just a wing tilt. No fucking problem, bro. Do you want to test this? Here, and then you tell the pilot, listen to this podcast, and you just like publish our little.
Shit.
He's like, oh shit, is this you?
Yeah. He's like, that's awesome, bro.
That's awesome, bro. Hey, congratulations.
You're like, oh, did you leave a review? That's dope.
That's fucking cool. 5 stars on iTunes. Fucking hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. I mean, everyone should five stars this on iTunes and leave a really nice comment about it.
That'd be really awesome. That'd be fucking cool.
Yeah, how great we are.
That'd be awesome. That would really get my dick hard. Yeah. Anyway.
But like, but no, dude, and this isn't like little bitty boats, dude. This is yachts, freaking 200-foot naval ships. Like, this is huge fucking boats, dude. And this shit just vanishes. Now, I think there's been like a study. I don't know. Like, I think there's been a study on like the ocean floor. I could be absolutely spit. I didn't do enough research on this part. But I've heard before that like the ocean floor down there is like really fucking rough. So like if something is to sink, it's gonna get fucking like shredded up or something.
Oh, gotcha.
I could be completely wrong about that, and that could be something completely different. But that's what my brain remembers.
Okay. Well, I also just looked up just for like a quick funsy, like the general size of yachts, just so the audience can kind of gauge how big yachts are in general. So it can range anything from like 10 meters or 32 feet if you're an American. It can range from 10 meters to 24 meters long is what's called a super yacht. The small ones are called apparently luxury cabin cruisers, and the super yachts are the 24 meters or around there. And 24 meters is 78 feet long. So I mean they're not in the fucking that's a pretty large vessel.
Yeah, that's heat. Like this isn't me being a dumbass on my paddleboard, dude, and just like
no, right,
floating a little too far off the coast. This is like big ass boats, dude. Yeah. So that's like it's no joke, and like you know if the science in that is like, oh yeah, you know, if something sinks, it's like maybe there's rocks. I'm sure people have like made it out unscathed. Like I'm sure of it. There's no way somebody hasn't. I mean, Christopher Columbus obviously did. But like that, like the Cyclops was the largest and fastest fuel ship that the United States Navy had at the time.
Yeah.
Like the biggest, the fastest, and that thing is nowhere.
You're not a shrapnel to show for it.
Yeah. It happened again in 1941, another Navy ship went down that was carrying cargo and had 58 passengers, and it fucking went down. And then a month later, its sister ship came out to basically do the exact same job because they obviously didn't make it. It had 61 people. They also disappeared.
Oh, no. If I've learned anything, sister ships should never be a thing if you're going to do the exact same route. Because there's a reason the route didn't succeed the first time. AKA, they're trying to release the sister of the Titanic. Don't fucking hop on board that. Do not do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Like, that would be their luck, though, is that they'd be like, all right, the Titanic is fucking game, bro. We're doing it, and we're setting sail to the Bermuda Triangle. And you're like, what?
Yeah. You're like, excuse me? Why would you? Okay. But anyway, and the reason we're stressing it so hard is the fact that like these ships are big. There's people everywhere. The reason it's so crazy is that like something big and large is just vanished from nothing. And I know it's like, okay, it sunk, but you don't see anything that shows evidence of it sinking. Do you know how many scraps of shit appear in the water when something vanishes quick? Because there's been like shipwrecks, that's a thing that's somewhat common. They find that evidence, though. They find the evidence showing that there was a shipwreck. If there is no evidence of a shipwreck, there is like it's unfathomable. It's like hard to describe something large and a lot of witnesses and a lot of people vanishing. It's hard to describe that.
We've been finding shit from the Titanic for like 100 straight years.
Yeah, straight up.
We find shit all the time from the Titanic. Just when you think we found all the shit that the Titanic has, we find more shit. And it's really cool, but it's like, so obviously, and that's like, I mean, at the time was like the biggest fucking boat ever.
Granted, it's a large vessel. That is a very, very large vessel.
Yeah. So obviously that one is a little easier to find, but like a yacht, in the 60s, bro, we could have found that. But and it's not just boats though, and I think it's starting to be a military thing, if I'm being totally honest. But
right,
1945, the Triangle began to take hold even more when 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers took off from a naval base in Fort Lauderdale and vanished in the Atlantic Ocean before completing their mission. 5 planes, dude.
That's crazy. Where did they go?
They were supposed to be a 3-hour exercise. They were supposed to be gone for 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
They were supposed to head east to conduct bombing runs, then fly over Grand Bahama Island, and eventually pivot southwest, come home. 3 hours. Ain't
nothing to it, dude. That's a trip to another state for me. I could drive that,
Yeah. So this is something that I think a lot of the mythology of it has been reported. But the flight leader, Charles C. Taylor, he became paranoid because his compass started failing. So he thought that the planes were moving in the wrong direction. So they weren't supposed to go towards the Bermuda Triangle. They were headed completely opposite. They were headed, headed to the fucking west. And so he was a flight leader, and so he was like, "Hey, dude, we're going the wrong way. We need to fly northeast," thinking, we're going back to Florida. And their signals just faded, and never heard from them again. Never found the planes.
Never found the planes. No evidence of anything. They're just poof.
Yeah, and that's the big that's the big story, is that it's crazy, but the boats or the planes, they just you obviously, if I know I'm going north, it doesn't matter if it's foggy, it doesn't matter what the weather is like.
Right.
I know I'm going north, I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah, you'll end in the north.
Yeah.
Right.
So if my compass goes haywire, I all of a sudden don't know where the fuck I'm going.
Yeah.
Because there's no signs in the goddamn ocean. No, and Apple Maps doesn't fucking work
it doesn't work there. Contrary to popular belief, it doesn't fucking reach.
Yeah. So, there's no cell towers out there.
There ain't no cell towers.
You hear that, you goddamn millennials?
T-Mobile, get out there. Go on.
But so motherfuckers, their compass, if you see in a recreation of a scenario, it'll show the compass spinning just out of control.
Yeah, that was in the video too from my youth.
it'll make you go because that way it's more obvious to you, as opposed to if it were it says I'm going west, I'm supposed to be going east. Shit, I better turn the other way. Weird, I thought I was going east this whole time. And then you end up there. Maybe it's an entity tricking you to go there so it can take you somewhere.
And that takes that's a knowledge. That's a sentient being making that executive decision to fuck with you at that point. That's not chance. That's manipulation, which is even more scary.
Yeah. And that's basically it on the fucking Bermuda Triangle, dude. But
shit. That shit fucking, I love that topic, man. I could talk about that shit. And the whole thing of it, the whole point, the reason it's so credible is because Craig just spent maybe 30 minutes talking about 3, 4, 5 cases, whatever it might be. Dude, there are so many cases that are so similar to what we just discussed. You can't just be coincidence with that many numbers. No. That's too many numbers.
And just the same, like I said, like I think people have kind of decided that that's not what happened to Amelia Earhart, but that was the theory forever. Yeah. Was like, because we never saw her again. We never heard from her again. After she flew over the Bermuda Triangle, we never saw or heard from her again.
And that motherfucker be traveling. She flying all over the place, man. She got records and shit.
You couldn't get her to stop fucking flying.
You couldn't. You couldn't fucking do it. She's a legitimate professional.
Yeah. Literally had a license to fly a plane. She wouldn't stop.
One of the first women.
She probably got eaten by crabs. And that sucks for her, definitely. Yeah. But, like, yeah, this happens a lot. It happened this year. Like,
and that's what I was going to say earlier. I was like, you said that in 2020, one of your cases was in 2020. That blows my fucking mind, because that just hasn't silenced. It hasn't stopped being a fucking reoccurring phenomenon.
Yeah, and I doubt it will. Like, I mean, that's why my ass isn't going there. You're gonna.
But people are still just like, we're gonna fly over the Bermuda Triangle, or we're gonna ride our ships out there, or whatever. Why would you do it?
No, you shouldn't. You should never do it. You should
don't do it.
Stay home. Stay home. Ohio, you nerds.
Yeah, like, you bucks.
Never leave.
Exactly.
I don't care how cold it is in Philadelphia. Like, stay home in Philadelphia. Like, goddamn, dude, you should absolutely not go to the go to Mexico. You know, whenever it's pandemic safe to travel to Mexico, just go to Mexico instead. I've been there twice. It's wonderful. I had a great time. I'm not going to anywhere that the Bermuda Triangle has to offer. I'll go to the edge of the Florida coast, and that's as far as my ass is going.
Even then, I'm scared. Like, what if your toe steps into the point of the Bermuda Triangle, and then you're just, like, sucked into a fucking whirlpool? You're like, whoa!
The compass on my phone starts going fucking batshit crazy. I'm like, what's that?
You look down, and your phone's a fucking Nokia, and you're like, what the fuck? You're getting nervous, man. You're in the Twilight Zone up in that bitch.
Yeah, that's probably where they go, is the literal Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
So if you have any evidence or tips on where these people may be, call 1-800-TIPS. That's not a real phone number.
1-800, more like 1-800-TITS.
Dude,
call them up.
More like 1-800-DICKS, bro.
Whoa! More like 1-800-FLICKS. If you guys want to watch a movie with me, I'm so lonely.
Please.
Just kidding, I'm not lonely.
I will give you my Netflix password. I don't pay for Netflix. I'm a lying sack of shit.
I did watch a documentary on the Bermuda Triangle a while ago, a long time ago. And one of the things I remember them discussing was that within the Earth's crust mantle, whatever you'd call it, there are methane gas, I don't know what to call them, methane gas, just underneath the mantle. And sometimes when cracks appear, that methane rockets to the surface, and sometimes that will absolutely capsize a ship. And so they were like, well, sometimes this happens and it completely implodes a ship, and that's what happens sometimes. But then I'm like, well, there would be plenty of evidence of a ship being obliterated by methane bombs, essentially. Like, the fact that there's no shrapnel, no anything to show for it, that is what gets me. There's no evidence of the ship being obliterated. It's gone. So, I don't know.
Yeah, like, that's insanity. Like, just, like, there can be so many things disappear in the same area. And, you know, like I said, it's 400,000+ square, like, miles of ocean. So I get it. I get that's a lot of surface area to cover.
That's a lot of surface area.
Also, that's a lot of shit to sink. Like, to not be able to find that shit.
At this point, it'd be piling up and shit, so...
Yeah, it's just on top of each other.
Yeah,
There's 15 fucking motherfuckers down there, and they're like, hey, when are you guys gonna...
Yeah, when's this, like... Yeah, come on, guys. Well, shit. That was a good one, Craig. I love the Bermuda Triangle. This is exactly why I'm all like, we should do Urban Legends. Because that shit fucking... That's so interesting to me. And I hope the audience finds it just as interesting as I do. Because that's fucking crazy. I love hearing about it. It's scary.
Hell yeah.
It's interesting. And that one is a good one where it's like, that's a really good one where it dances across that line of, is this real or is this not? Because there is way too much evidence for that to be like just coincidence, but there's also, you have to really reach out, you know, if it's going to be, if you subscribe to the idea of aliens or some weird extraterrestrial shit, then that's, you know, you're crossing that crazy, like, that can't be real kind of line. But you can't dispute the fact that these vessels disappearing, plane and by sea, disappearing fully with not a trace, You can't, like, I don't know. There's no fucking dispute. Like, that is what happened. So how do you describe that? You can't. And so that's why that's a good urban legend.
And I think on this podcast, I have proven that I err on the side of coincidence most of the time.
Yeah. You're definitely a sensible man.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah, not this one. Nope.
Nope.
This is real as fuck, dude.
It's real as fuck. Get the fuck away from... If you live on the coast, like near Florida, like where that point meets, don't be there. Don't swim.
Yeah, you will not catch me there, dude. I'm not doing it. I can't wait for our first live podcast after the pandemic ends. We're just going to get a cruise ship and all of our listeners, and we're going to go to the Bermuda Triangle.
You guys down for that? You guys cool with that? When we start doing our live shows, we're going to host a fucking yacht live show, and we're just going to cruise the Bermuda Triangle. And hey, if we fucking disappear, we're recording the whole fucking thing. Yeah, but we're, you know, like we might martyr for the sake of now we know. You guys are welcome.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be a fun time. But hell yeah, dude, that's awesome. Here's the one that you discussed right there, the Bermuda Triangle. That has a cadence of truth to it. I'm about to spit some probably, most likely not true stories, but it's a fun one, so.
Hell yeah, I like it.
All right, I want you to tell me right now what you believe the story of, or not the story. What happens? What's Bloody Mary? What's that all about?
Oh, Bloody Mary. So to my knowledge, and I learned this from the South Park episode where Butters summons the notorious B.I.G.
Of course.
But you turn off the lights. You stand in front of your mirror. You say Bloody Mary 3 times, and that bitch shows up. Okay.
See, it's reached you. It's reached South Park. This is one of the most, I'd argue, the most famous urban legend of all time. And this is the story of Bloody Mary. And yes, you're right. That is what the legend has it. Legend has it that if you stand in front of a mirror, it doesn't have to be a bathroom, but it's like mostly common in a bathroom because that's where usually people have dark rooms with a mirror. All right, so you go into this room, you turn off all the lights. Some say you light a candle, some say you light 2 candles, whatever it might be. And then you say Bloody Mary 13 times is what I've been reading all over the internet. When I was growing up, I was told it was 3 as well. You say this 13 times, and then apparently Bloody Mary appears behind you in the image of the mirror, and what she does, like sometimes people will say that she'll just scare you, sometimes they say she'll make you go insane, and sometimes she'll slash your face away, she'll cut your face a bunch. And that's what the legend of Bloody Mary is. And so
She sounds like a babe, dude.
She sounds like a what?
She sounds like a babe.
Oh, yeah, she's a fucking cutie patootie. She's like, oh my fucking god, what up? You fucking summoned me. And then she's just
a vlogger.
This is like the 2021 version of Bloody Mary. But, yeah, and so, like, to discuss, I've always been interested in the case. There's a pseudoscience involved. There's a lot of actual brain games going on with the case of Bloody Mary. There's a lot of history with Bloody Mary, so I'll do my best to describe it. So for starters, the history of Bloody Mary, like what the entity actually is. So people have confused this over time. There's plenty of different types of stories, I guess. But the research into Bloody Mary goes back to 1978, where there was a folklore specialist named Janet Langlois. She published an essay on Bloody Mary, like about the summoning of the Mirror Witch. All right, so there are different names. There's Bloody Mary, there's Bloody Bones, there's Hell Mary, Mary Worth, Mary Worthington. All these names, these are all like, there's more too. I just don't want to go on this whole fucking list. These are all people that are said to be summoned. So some confuse the Mirror Witch with Mary the First of England, whom history remembers as Bloody Mary. This is like an actual historical figure named Bloody Mary. An expanded version of that confusion is that the murdering British queen killed young girls so that she could bathe in the blood to preserve her youthful appearance.
Honestly, like, that's a baller move.
Baller. Like, you're fucking like, hey, young lady, slit, and then you bathe in her blood? That is metal as fuck.
Yeah, you want to talk about fucking absolutely dunking on somebody? Cut them open and fucking bathe in their blood, bro.
Oh, that's slam dunk, bro. But the thing is, that is a misconception. So, that actual legend did happen, but it was to Elizabeth Bathory, I don't know how to pronounce it, which was a Hungarian countess who lived in 1560 to 1614. So the Queen Mary the First of England, that wasn't her story. Okay. The Queen, I could go on about the Queen Mary the First or whatever. She was called Bloody Mary. This is true, but this is because she had a number of Protestants put to death during her reign, as she was trying to reestablish Catholicism as a religion of the land after the reigns of her father, Henry VIII. So she was just named Bloody Mary because she slashed and dashed some Protestants in the name of Christianity. But as for the actual Bloody Mary, it was the Hungarian Elizabeth Bathory who actually bathed in the blood of fucking... So their stories get confused in history to make a better point. So if you want to take that with a grain of salt, you may. Now, I'm going to actually discuss... Oh, and there's also this another theory is that there's this local chick named Mary who died in a car accident, and apparently that's whose ghost you see, because her face gets destroyed in the car accident, and, like, so whenever you do summon a spirit, it's that spirit. And I don't know a name or history on that, but, like, so when people do it, it's either the Queen Mary or whatever, or it's that spirit from the car accident or whatever.
Can you imagine when you... Like I do it in my bathroom, and I'm like, oh, I really hope the Queen shows up, and then it's the chick from the car crash.
It's the mangled-ass human girl, or, like, yeah, previously human girl, and you're like, no.
I thought you were going to be royalty. This is bullshit.
And she's like, get this a lot. I didn't need this today. You summoned me. You summoned me.
You asked for me to be here, you fucking asshole.
Okay. So that's like kind of like a little bit of the history of what's going on there. But this story's been kind of like this little like chant or whatever ritual has been going on for like, you know, since the 70s. That previously mentioned Jane Langlois, she wrote about it as quote unquote the game. So people like to steer clear of this saying her name. Like it's another one of those things where if you say it, it comes to fruition. So me mentioning this and you hearing about it could put you all in danger. I'm so sorry. But it is what it is. There's actually a book named Bloody Mary in the Mirror, a ritual reflection of prepubescent anxiety, which will lead me into the pseudoscience of Bloody Mary. So now, this often happens where? Where have you been tempted to do Bloody Mary?
I've never personally been tempted to do Bloody Mary.
Okay.
But I think if I, just based off of, like, my life experience, I would have to guess it happens at sleepovers primarily.
Sleepover! There you go. That's exactly what I was hoping you'd say, is a sleepover. So this is a common thing that happens. Especially at a sleepover. You're with your friends. They're all talking about someone turns off the lights, and they turn on their flashlight, and they're like, have you guys ever heard of the legend of Bloody Mary? And then they discuss the story. And then they say this classic thing where legend has it, if you go to the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. And then they have to make the weakest and smallest child go into the fucking bathroom and do the legend, right? They'll have a bunch of... Or, like, whoever the bravest one is will go and do it. Shit like that, right? And so why? Why the fuck? Why? Okay, so the legend has it where it's like, if you fucking do this... Bloody Mary will show up and slash your face. Sometimes she'll kill you. Sometimes she'll damn you to hell. Or she'll make you insane. Why the fuck are children telling each other this story and doing it? There have been cases where people have done this. Like little children have reported going in, doing this Bloody Mary thing, and coming out in legitimate fear. And some of them are in tears. And some of them are legitimately hurt. Like they have scars on their faces, right? So like there's some cadence to this. Here's what's actually happening. Between the ages of 9 and 12, which is prime slumber party age, there is an effect called the Robinson age, which psychologists describe as a period when children need to satisfy their craving for excitement by participating in ritual games and playing in the dark. They are constantly looking for a safe way to extract pleasure and release anxiety and fears. And I kind of went into depth. I went to like a different rabbit hole of the Robinson age because I've never heard of it prior to this research. So it's very interesting. But basically what it's saying is that you can predict what a child is going to do based on the Robinson age because At some point during this phase, your innocent, obedient child will inevitably develop an unignorable craving for danger, is what some people say. And this can manifest in multiple different ways. As adults, it turns into like storytelling, like a Hollywood-based mental images of riding fast cars with older boys, getting drunk enough to pass out, and waking up pregnant, shit like that. Like just being an anarchist, essentially. But as a kid, during the Robinson age, this is when they try to. You want to be a little bit of a rebel rouser. You want to do your own thing. This is you breaking out of, you're in like a young grade. You're surrounded by your peers. Your parents always telling you what to do. Like you're at the age where you can coherently think, I want to do this and I want to see how far I can get away with stuff, right? So that's like the general mindset. And so during this Robinson age, they think, I want to test the boundaries and I want to do these weird things to test it. Like I can do this, so I will, kind of thing like that. Because it was
that's not to go off trail, but like that's not like that doesn't even stop, bro. Like that's right. I mean, so I guess it stops for some kids, but like me, it would just that's why people ride roller coasters, and that's why people that's why we go to haunted houses, because we like that fear. Like we want the feeling of like let's see what happens. Like, I want to be horrified, but it's got to be controlled. I need to feel this sense of like absolute being shit my pants scared, but I don't want to die, kind of thing.
Right. People crave adventure, and with adventure comes fear and adversity and problems and stuff that you have to arise over. Like, you have to show that you've conquered something in terms of adventure. So, like, people put themselves in roller coasters because it's like, this could kill me. It very well could. And it most likely won't, but there's still the thrill effect, you still get thrill. So yeah, you're right. You're completely right. People put themselves in these situations all the time. And so, this is just like, the reason that this is called the Robinson age, though, is because this is like the prime time when a child is discovering that feeling. Like, they want to fulfill that void. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but they want to definitely put themselves in adventures, dangerous situations, and just to see what happens. They want to prove people. It's also peer pressure too. That's a big point, and that's why I mentioned that's why I made you discuss it was a slumber party, because that's like half the thing is like people peer pressure you to be the braver person. Like, you have to make a claim in your socially economic group, and so hey, why not do that with a spooky legend to see if you can overcome the fear of Bloody Mary? I'll tell you right now, when I was a kid, I would never do it. There was not a single, and I still probably wouldn't do it. I probably just wouldn't do it just in fucking case. And I'll tell you right now that my brain, the way it works, is so weird. If I was ever in a bathroom and, like, let's say that for whatever reason the lights went out, my intrusive ass brain would always be like, start saying the Bloody Mary thing. And then I would literally panic. As a kid, I was like, no. And like in my mind, I'm saying it, but I'm like, stop. Yeah, like, it scared me. I didn't know. I didn't know what that was, but so anyway, that is the kind of like the pseudoscience in terms of what, like, the mental state. Now, there is also something that I would like to discuss that also feeds into Bloody Mary's ritual, and I will try to discuss this as clearly as possible. This is an expo by Emily Petsko, and I'm going to take pieces from this. It's on mentalfloss.com. You can go check that out. But she expresses facts from a phenomenon called the Troxler effect. All right? The longer you stare in a mirror, the more likely you are to start seeing things that aren't there, even if you haven't been forewarned that something ghastly will appear. All right, so but basically what this is saying, when you stare at the same object for a prolonged period of time, there comes a point when your brain adapts or gets used to the unchanging stimuli. As a result, your neurons cancel the information out, and the image often appears blurry, faded, or distorted until you blink or look around. So, have you ever done that before? Like, I mean, there's plenty of examples. Like, if you're just staring at something for so long and, like, the image starts to get blurry or whites out, or, like, just your actual picture changes.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%.
Happens to everyone. Definitely happens to everyone. So now, what your brain does is it has to register images to be able to process survival. That's how it works. So the human brain is absolutely wired to see faces. Like, that's the number one thing. They have to see 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. Your brain, no matter what, will try to do this in any given situation. That's why people see faces in clouds. People will see, like, faces in their toast, shit like that. Like, people will draw connections to faces anywhere they can. Their brain is hardwired. That's how it's supposed to be. And this is what the Troxler effect is. And so now you mix the Troxler effect with also staring at a non-stimulated image. So if you're just sitting there staring at this dimly lit room, because you're supposed to turn the lights off, maybe you have a candle on or whatever, so you're staring at your reflection, eye contact with your reflection. So now you're having the problem of there is no stimulus, you're just staring at a non-moving image, right? So now your image is already about to be blurred. Now you combine that with the Troxler effect, which is you're trying to find images in the mirror, and you recognize your face, right? But your face is becoming distorted because you're just staring at it. So what happens next is that, especially if you have the story of Bloody Mary in your mind, and you've already done the ritual or whatever, your brain is automatically thinking, I need to find a face and I need to find it behind me. Even if you don't want to, you're subsequently thinking those things. And so you're staring at it, and then you might see a face and behind you, and you'll look at it, and as soon as you look at it, guess what? It disappears. But you swear to God that you saw a fucking face behind you, and so you leave the bathroom, and you tell your friends, like, guys, no fucking joke. And, like, you start believing in your own pseudoscience, like your own brain, like your own mind, because that's what happened. And technically, that is what happened. And some people do go insane when they see this thing, right? Like, they'll go mad. They'll be like, I swear I saw it. And that's where the whole, like, madness legend comes from. Or like, that girl, maybe she knew the story of the clawing of the face or whatever. And so maybe she started legitimately clawing at her own face because she got scared or she got insane or whatever. The brain is a mysterious place. And maybe that's what it was telling her to do. So basically, that's what the science behind Bloody Mary is. And I guess I'm kind of discrediting the fact that there is a science behind why the actual mythological side of Bloody Mary isn't real. But hell, I mean, it still could be a ghost.
Yeah, it's still a lot of fun, right? I mean, because like you said, you're 24 years old now, and
hell yeah.
Would you do it? Would you do it tomorrow?
Nope, won't do it ever.
Yeah, like, I mean, are your roommates home today?
No.
Okay, so if I told, like, go right now, go to your bathroom, turn out all the lights, and do it.
For the podcast? Shit. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna conquer this fear, you guys. I got you guys. I'm scared.
See what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
I'm
that's
not
what I'm saying. It's like, even though, like,
Bloody Mary.
I mean, I've never done it, and it's not that no one's ever asked me to do it, but if you ask me to do it, I'm not going to do it either. Like, it's just...
Craig, go to the bathroom right now and do it, bro.
Oh, man. There's construction in the bathroom.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
One of those days. And see, it's just one of those things where even if you're like, I could tell you all fucking day. I could say, this is the science behind it, and this is why it's baloney. Just in fucking case that there is a slight cadence of truth to behind a witch demon lady that rips your face apart behind you in a mirror just for doing this stupid shit, I won't do it. Just in case.
Yeah, that's why I don't... When people are like, let's go play with the Ouija board, I'm like, no, you're stupid.
I'll do that.
Don't ever do that. No. Because, I mean, like... you could. Chances are, you personally will be nice to the ghost because you'll be like, "Oh, I just wanted to get to know. I want to have this experience, and I would like to say what's up."
Very platonic but intimate relationship with a ghost. Yes.
Yeah. Everyone else is like, "Hey, dude, did you fuck when you were alive?" And then he's like, "I did not fuck. I'm going to kill you."
And that's why I'm so sad and haunting you.
Yeah, I died a virgin. And you're like, oh, no, dude. Like, I'm so... But then, like, the frat boys will make fun of him and get haunted forever. I don't want to get haunted forever. And my friends are not trustworthy to not upset a ghost.
Okay, but would you do it knowing... If you were with people that you know for a fact will not antagonize, will not provoke, will not do anything, they just want to see... Would you ever do it with those kinds of people?
Probably not, just because, like... Even if my motives are completely like clear and like, yeah, the ghosts might not be. The ghost might be like, I've been ready, bro. I've been fucking ready for this.
Yeah, you can't account for spooky specters that want to fucking fuck your world up. If you pull out a Ouija board and start speaking to a ghost, you are giving that ghost permission to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah, the same way that I can go my entire day without robbing a bank, but somebody's going to rob a bank today. Like, somebody's going to do it. It does not matter who, but it's not going to be me because I know I'm not going to do that. But there's an asshole that's going to do that. And I can't do anything to stop that guy. No matter how much, we all know it's a terrible thing to do.
Right.
That guy's going to rob the bank. And I'm not, and then you're also not.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, but you can't account for him not doing it.
Now, here's the difference, though, between that. If you rob a bank, there are immediate and visual repercussions for your actions, right? If you do a Ouija board, there's technically not proof that anything bad will happen to you, or if there's any real cadence to it at all. You know
That's
what I mean?
true. I've seen Paranormal Activity, though, bro.
That's true. That's
a
real
live footage thing, dude. Yeah,
that's a live footage. That's real. All 5 of them.
That wasn't produced at all. Like, they found those cameras, dude.
I know. I know. But, like, all I'm saying is that, like, there's no hard-hitting evidence. If you go rob a bank, there is genuinely hard-hitting evidence that proves that you will be you will be fucked up by the law.
True.
But
that's fair.
I get your point, though. I get what you're trying to say. It's just that I'm not going to test the waters, so to speak, just because of all of, like, the what-ifs. I'm not going to do any sort of what-ifs that put my life in peril, especially if it's something as stupid as going into a bathroom by yourself and fucking saying this crazy woman's name 3 times or 13 times in a row. No matter what you do, like, why put myself in those shoes? And that is because, and as I was mentioning before, the Robinson age, that's because you grow out of it, like you're supposed to. Some people don't, and those are your typical bank robbers, and those are the people that storm the Capitol building. But some people, they don't grow out of the Robinson age because they didn't get the lessons that they needed to get. They didn't understand that those anarchist movements don't get you anywhere. They just make you look like a dumbass in the future. You know, like, no matter what. Like, what if someone's like, I'm the bravest of us all. I'm going to go into the bathroom and say her name 13 times in a row. And then that motherfucker dies because some witch slashes his face apart. What does that prove? Like, you might have been brave enough, but you're also the dumbest one in the room. Like, I don't know. Like, you realize... it says 9 through 12. Usually at 12, you're preteens or even like mid-teens. You start to realize that, okay, I could test this, but I'm not gonna. And that's that moment where you're like, oh, okay. So, okay. It like clicks, right? You're like, I don't have to prove myself to these people. I don't have to prove anything that puts my life in danger. You don't have to, because you're not in the Robinson age. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's the same deal as, like I said, people have crossed the Bermuda Triangle. They've flown over it. They've fucking, floated a ship through it. No problem. But am I going to do it? No. Unfortunately not, sir.
You get someone be like, I don't believe in any of that hocus pocus bullshit. And it's just like, hey, buddy, okay, I might. I don't know.
Good luck, dude.
Go fucking surf the Bermuda, bro. Go surf the Bermuda Triangle. It's all you, man.
Dude, wouldn't that be sick, though, if some dude just took a surfboard and made it all the way through the Bermuda Triangle?
To Bermuda, and they're like, shit's whack. Ain't nothing to it.
That might be the best way to do it, though. You'd probably be able to maneuver a little bit better.
Probably, honestly.
Yeah. The sharks probably wouldn't do anything.
Imagine someone at nighttime with the new moon, so there's like completely pitch black outside, no fucking stars, no nothing, cloudy night, pitch black outside. They take a surfboard, hop on the Bermuda Triangle, they surf that shit, and they have mirrors all over their fucking surfboard. Actually, their surfboard is a mirror, in fact, and it has candles lit on it, and they're fucking chanting Bloody Mary as they're surfing across. If they do that shit...
That would be fucking sick. I talk about dunking on somebody, bro.
That's dunk.
That's it, dude.
That's dunk right there. I'll tell you right now, if that happens and that person is A-okay, peachy keen, I will absolutely conquer my fears and go into the bathroom and fucking whisper that bitch's name 13 times. And I might even fly over the Bermuda Triangle sometime, if that happens. But until then, I'm just gonna steer clear, play it safe, and do my research.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. Because, and if any of you do take a surfboard off the coast of Florida or elsewhere and, want to do that on a surfboard with mirrors all over, tweet at me, bro. Let us know.
Bro, hit us up with that shit. If you want to record that, I want to see that so very desperately. So, Please, actually, honestly, please do it. We can't. This is satire. We can't probably legally tell you to go do something like that. That's probably like a really dangerous thing that we shouldn't implore. So we're technically doing that. But like fucking, if you happen to do that, take a GoPro. Let me see the whole process.
Yeah, if you have any fucking like stones at all.
Call them out.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't do it.
If you got any fucking, if you're brave, if you had any sort of braveness in you, you'll do it.
Just absolutely fucking. Oh yeah, pussy. I'm sure I'm the one that won't fucking pick up my microphone and go to the bathroom, but you're the pussy. You won't fucking. Exactly. You won't go to the Bermuda Triangle with mirrors and say Bloody Mary fucking 13 times.
Dude, I'll tell you what. As soon as you called me out, you told me to go do it. I picked up my microphone. I said it one time. I bailed. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't. My brain was like, "What are you doing?" It was like, "Stop! Stop!
Don't do it, Andrew."
And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Death is imminent."
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It was like, if you say that name fucking 12 more motherfucking times, you will perish on the podcast. And what does that prove, Andrew? Nothing. That proves nothing. On the Craig has to do the podcast alone now. Now what?
Yeah. And I don't know how I'm going to get your audio file. That's the problem.
That's a nightmare. That's going to be a nightmare for Craig. Now how do you feel? And I just bailed. Couldn't do it.
Just gone. Your roommates are like, they don't know me really, so they won't like reach out.
No, absolutely not.
Like, oh yeah, Andrew just kind of disappeared. We found his jeans, which is weird. Yeah. He doesn't really wear jeans ever, but we found his jeans.
We found him. Yeah, dude. That's. I mean, there'd be a poof of nut. Well, I don't know. It depends on which Mary showed up. Like maybe my face would be mangled.
If the mangled up one shows up, I think you probably have a good chance of kicking her ass though.
Reminds me of like Scary Movie 3 or some shit. Like that one scene where the ring chick comes out of the TV and then that one chick beats the shit out of her. It's fucking funny.
She just fucking absolutely fucks her out.
Dude, watch that movie.
Right now.
Do it. Yeah. That being said, our podcast is coming to an end. And that would give you plenty of time to go check out our old episodes, This is a fun one. Urban Legends are near and dear to my heart. That's why I chose it. I hope Craig gets excited. We do have a fun game that we're going to play for the next episode.
Yeah, well, that's what we call in the biz a teaser.
Yeah, dude. And we're all about them fucking teasers. As you can tell, if you're an every episode listener, like if you listen, you check us out every week or every other week. First of all, thank you. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Craig appreciates it. And second of all, you know that we like to tease around here. But this is no ordinary tease. We're going to not tease, and we're going to finish, and we're going to tell you what that fucking game is.
Spoiler alert, bitch.
Yeah, this tease turned into a spoiler. Okay, so yeah, what we're planning on doing next episode is Craig and I are going to go find an allotted amount of urban legends. And now, as we discussed earlier in the podcast, there is a lot of cadence and facts behind some urban legends. Some of them can be true. Some of them turn out to be true, even though they sound so far-fetched. So, the point of the game is that I'm going to go find, we're going to do rounds, right? And I don't know how much we're going to do, so bear with us. But let's just, for the sake of me explaining how the rules work, I'm going to say that I'm going to find 3 urban legends. One of them will be true. The other 2 will be false, but still spooky, and Craig has to guess which ones are the real ones. And there's going to be rounds, right? So it's three urban legends per round, so we have a lot of research to do.
Yeah, we got our fucking work cut out for us, and it's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, I think so. And this could be like it could be just maybe there's 2 rounds, one for me, one for him, depending on how long it goes. But I already have several lined up. I'm excited to share. So, I mean, I'm excited to see what Craig brings up, and I think it'll be a good time. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and in the meantime, fellers and fellas, which is is that the girl? Is that the female version?
I
think fellas, if you do it in Spanish,
okay, with an A.
The masculine one is always plural, right? So I think fellers would be correct, but I think fellas would technically be the women if you go in that rule. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we are Spaniards around here.
Me and Andrew actually took the same Spanish class.
That's true. Actually, we did. I forgot about that.
But that's beside the point. In the meantime, follow us on Twitter @stories_boys. You will now have reading material after this. Link in the description of the podcast. So check out the blog. It's going to be fun.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think we'll update it weekly, unless we feel like doing more. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, follow us on everything, which is only Twitter and a blog.
But soon more to come. I'm very excited. I saw my girlfriend has been managing a few things, and she now has created our Facebook page, and so you can go find that at Stories with the Boys Pod on Facebook, whatever it might be. Follow us there. She's gonna add stuff to that every now and then. There's a lot of projects in the works. We're excited, man. Like, it's a new fucking year, 2021. We're off to a great start, apparently. I said that satirically because of the riots happening right now. But in terms of us recording, we're trying to get this shit. Craig's we've made the reading material. That shit's gonna be awesome. We're growing. We're building our fucking base, and we're so excited to keep this shit going on for you guys, and bringing you along for the journey. The more that you guys share us and help us out, the more that we're gonna be able to make for you, and we're excited to do that. So, thank you.
Let's go, crew. Thank you, guys.
What, do you know how people like name their fucking fan base? What would we name ours, or is it too early to tell?
I mean, I guess the obvious thing would be that they just be the boys, yeah.
Right, I thought the same thing, but then, and we've said this on episode 1, that boys doesn't necessarily mean the gender boys. Boys is just the name,
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, I'm sure they don't have anything trademarked, but that if anybody listens to the Gus and Eddie podcast, they often call their friend group the boys. That said,
oh no,
that's the name of our podcast.
That's true. We have a little bit more on them, fuckers.
Yeah, they're just Gus and Eddie. So I love those guys. So, but I don't know. The boys seems obvious to me, but we can call them a few Americans and a few Europeans.
That's true. That is what we've got on the old roster. I'll take that. Maybe it's a little too early to tell. We'll come up with a name for you guys later, because we know you love to be named, because it shows that we care or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Yeah, gives that endearing quality.
Endearing, yeah. Sure names and what have you. But yeah, that should hey, that's a wrap, man. I'm excited that was a good one. Craig and I are gonna meet up at some point. We're probably gonna vlog this, and we're gonna go ahead and go into a bathroom and say Bloody Mary 13 times. So get ready for that.
Yeah, that's a tease for Halloween, baby.
That's right, baby.
we're 9 months away.
Hey man, I'm all about Halloween in October, so it's never too early to tease that shit.
Fair enough.
All right, guys. Well, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck with us next week.
Hell yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to say?
Peace. That's all I got.
Okay, I'll super cut that. All right, and end the podcast. 3, 2, 1.